Thanks for your question about how to do question 3 here. So with this one, instead of finding the area, you're trying to find one of the side lengths, and so in this case, finding the height. And so we have this equation for finding the area of a trapezium, and so we can still plug numbers into here, but the information that we're given in the question is a little bit different. So we've got the area here, and our height is what we don't know. We've got our two parallel sides, which would be A and B perhaps. It doesn't matter which way around you label them. And so if I took this information and put it into my formula here, A, or area in this case, is 70. And H, that's what I don't know. That's where X has been put in my picture. So instead of H, I'm writing X. 11 is A, and 17 is B. And so I could potentially go from here and try and work out, well, what value would X need to be? Sometimes we can work through if we tested it out and made X 1, for instance. Sometimes it's good to start with a small value and just see what happens. And so if X was 1, that would be 11 plus 17 over 2, which if you did that, 28 in there, 1 times 28 is 28 divided by 2. That would only come out as 14, but we're needing to get to 70. And a bit in guess and check, you might find out that if you went up and tried, say, maybe 3, for instance, 3 times 28 divided by 2, well, that's going to come out to 42. But that's still not big enough. And eventually you might find, well, hey, if you put in number 5, 11 plus 17 divided by 2, well, that's going to be 28. When we times 28 by 5, we get 140, and then divided by 2, we come out with 70. So from that, we could see that X is going to be 5. We could also approach this a little bit mathematically, which you'll learn more about this when you do your algebra topic, but here's a little bit about how another approach here you could do. And so we could actually simplify this down a little bit. And so if I add those numbers, 11 plus 17, so I've got 28 over 2. Now, for how we often write things, when we have a letter multiplying by a number in maths, we would often just write that as 28x. Instead of x times 28, that's our shorthand way of writing a number timesing a letter. And so we could simplify this a little bit further, because 28, we could divide that by 2. 28 lots of x divided by 2, that would be 14 lots of x. And so what we're doing here is trying to find, well, 14 times what number is 70, which that would be the equivalent to find x of doing 70 divided by 14, which would come out as 5 centimeters. So we could work through a little bit more methodically, or we could have a go with a bit of guess and check. As you move forward in maths, you'll be learning more about how to work more methodically. That's ideally the kind of method you'd want to be using as you head further in maths. But this is fine for having a go with these and just working out the missing height. And so, yeah, you have some of these other ones in question 4, where instead of a height, you actually got the b value. So you could do a similar thing using the formula. If that's a, that's b. Instead, that b in the formula will be replaced with x, and you'll have h and you'll have a values for those. Hope that helps.